Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm so incredibly excited we're diving into this together today. We're unpacking a topic that is moving faster than literally almost anything else in human history. Yep, we're talking about generative artificial intelligence. But look, we're not just going to sit here and look at the flashy tech demos, okay? We're focusing on the urgent reality that AI's explosive growth has totally outpaced our legal and societal safeguards. As you're going to see, the very same technology that can flawlessly plan your next beach vacation is simultaneously creating massive liability gaps, generating just unchecked propaganda, and leaving everyday people completely unprotected.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Trojan horse. 2. The era of authoritative bull. 3. The Section 230 liability gap. And 4. Regulating the Wild West.
Section 1. The Trojan horse, from party tricks to Pandora's box.
So when generative AI first hit the mainstream a little while back, it honestly felt like magic, didn't it? Millions of people suddenly had this incredibly smart assistant. You could use Bing Chat to plan out a complex multi-city vacation itinerary, or instantly calculate if that bulky IKEA love seat was actually going to fit in the back of your Honda Odyssey. Totally harmless, right? Well, at the exact same time, visual effects artist Chris Yumi was using similar underlying technology to release these hyper-realistic viral deepfake videos of Tom Cruise on TikTok, and millions of people watched them, completely unable to distinguish the digital illusion from actual reality. This was essentially a Trojan horse. The innocent fun utility masked a staggering capability to just completely blur the lines of absolute truth.
Section 2. The era of authoritative bull, when AI hallucinates and weaponizes fiction.
Here's where things get dicey. The very systems designing that awesome vacation itinerary, they don't actually understand right from wrong. They don't know fact from fiction. AI researcher Gary Marcus perfectly captures this. He calls the output authoritative bull. Why? Because these chatbots learn by scraping just massive amounts of data from the internet, and that includes unverified social media and straight-up propaganda. Because of that, they often invent facts with total unwavering confidence. In the tech world, they usually call this hallucinating. But honestly, it's more like it just beautifully blends truth and falsity so finely together that unless you're a technical expert, you just aren't going to catch the lie.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the threat. Think about the human process of journalism. Researching and fact-checking complex political events takes serious time and effort, but contrast that with an automatic fake news generation machine. When prompted, ChatGPT instantly generated a highly convincing, utterly fabricated news article about Senator McCarthy staging a bold filibuster to prevent gun control legislation. Guys, there was no filibuster, there was no legislation. It literally just made the whole shebang up, but it sounded entirely legitimate. This makes it terrifyingly easy for bad actors to completely bypass traditional fact-checking and just flood the zone with falsehoods.
And the wild part, the technology is literally designed to get better at tricking us. Let's break down how a GAN works. That's a generative adversarial network. It's basically a relentless game of cat and mouse happening inside the computer. Step 1, an AI tries to create a synthetic image, like a fake human face. Step 2, an opposing AI acts as a detective, actively hunting for microscopic flaws in that fake image. Step 3, the first AI learns from those exact flaws, corrects them, and spits out a vastly superior fake. So the system is engaged in this constant, self-taught warfare to become totally indistinguishable from reality.
The geopolitical consequences of all this, they are absolutely not theoretical. It's happening right now. Political scientist Nina Schick warns of a massive erosion of public trust. The FBI is already sounding the alarm about Russian and Chinese actors using these systems to generate synthetic profile images. They are literally creating fake non-existent journalists to spread anti-American propaganda. We're facing the very real prospect of massive troll farms automating endless, highly convincing political fiction, which obviously threatens the very foundation of our trust in any authentic media.
Section 3. The Section 230 liability gap. Outdated laws protecting tech giants. So what happens when this technology is used to actively destroy a normal person's life? We have to talk about the human cost here. Take the story of high school student Francesca Maneri. She was literally just sitting in her history class when she learned that a male classmate had taken innocent, fully clothed photos of her and other girls from Instagram and uploaded them to a malicious AI app. This software uses AI to generate highly realistic, non-consensual nude images. These fake images of high school girls were then spread like wildfire across platforms like Snapchat. It's a massive, devastating violation. Yet the tech companies hosting these apps and circulating this imagery face virtually zero legal consequences.
How is that even possible?
Well, it all comes down to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996. This is a federal law that grants online platforms near-complete immunity from any liability arising from content created by their users. Now, it was originally designed to help the early internet grow and flourish, but today it acts as a giant legal shield. It allows massive tech platforms to essentially look the other way while malicious AI deepfakes and exploitative materials just run rampant on their servers.
It really begs the question, right? Why are the richest tech giants on planet Earth utterly immune to the very real damage their platforms facilitate? And more incredibly, why on earth does a law written back in 1996, I mean, we were using dial-up modems and floppy disks back then, why does that govern the hyper-realistic generative AI of today? It is just a staggering disconnect between modern technology and ancient policy.
And here is the agonizing, real-world result of that gap. 8 months. 8 long months. That's how long it took the platform Snapchat to respond to a frantic parent pleading to have exploitative, AI-generated deepfake images of their child taken down. Because the platforms have Section 230 immunity, the speed at which they respond to victims is entirely at their own discretion. There is currently no legal mandate forcing them to act quickly to protect people.
Let's move to and see how this builds our final piece. Section 4. Regulating the Wild West. Building guardrails for the digital age.
So how do we actually fix this mess? AI researcher Timnit Gebru makes a totally brilliant analogy here. Think about how a pharmaceutical company operates. If they want to release a new drug, the FDA legally mandates rigorous clinical trials, right? They have to prove the drug is safe and clearly map out all the side effects before it ever reaches the public. But for the tech industry, we have absolutely nothing like that right now. It's the Wild West. That's why leaders, including Microsoft President Brad Smith, are now heavily arguing for the creation of an FDA or FDA-style Digital Regulatory Commission. This would be an agency that requires tech companies to actually prove their AI is safe before unleashing it on society.
The really incredible thing here is that the solutions are actually already outlined. We aren't starting from scratch. We could pass the pending Take It Down Act right now to establish real, hard criminal penalties for generating malicious deepfakes. We could legally mandate that platforms must remove harmful AI fakes within 48 hours, which would completely end those horrific 8-month waiting periods. We can require transparent clinical trials for algorithms and establish that dedicated Digital Regulatory Commission. The tools to build the guardrails absolutely exist today. The question is purely whether our lawmakers have the willpower to actually implement them. Which brings us to this final crucial question to ponder. How do we maneuver and maintain trust in a world where seeing is literally no longer believing? We are at the very beginning of this AI revolution, folks. From this point forward, every single piece of digital media you consume, every viral video, every audio clip, every shocking news story needs to be evaluated with a highly critical eye. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep seeking the truth.